number 1, the 2 misconceptions I talked about, or I think about, the biggest one would probably be the living or non-living. That's the one that I did with my first grade students, and the big one for the student that I pulled out was the the rocks, and because his thinking was anything that grew or drank water grew, or like was alive. So rocks definitely aren't alive, but because, you know, there's river rocks, there's different rocks in water, and there's rocks that are different sizes, they must be alive, and they must be growing, because you don't really ever see the same rock twice. You can't track it, they're always the same, but in his mind, you could see a rock today, you could see in 3 years, and it's going to be bigger because it's a different rock, or it could be smaller because it's a different rock. The other big one, or another one that I can think of, is reflecting light. Students believe at an early age either nothing reflects light or everything reflects light. They're just like not taught yet about the properties of light. 2, how to leverage a student to talk about these misconceptions and like how to tackle them. I think just using a lot of explore activities and place-based learning with them to show this is real life, this is how it is, and I think it's going to be more impactful coming off of a like place-based experiment than in a PowerPoint. And maybe watch another video that kind of recaps everything and they have a class discussion about it. The next one's the elaborate. So the desired outcome for this one is kind of doing the activity again and with the students' new knowledge, and see what outcomes come of it this time with full information. So with like the circuit one, we rebuilt the circuit having all of the materials that we would need to do it. Sorry, I'm looking at it. The next one is the evaluation, where the assessment takes place. So for the last one, for the evaluation, the desired outcome is to have students master the topic that we talked about today and be able to understand why you did what you did. So an activity would be like an exit ticket, or you could do a formal assessment, summative, formative, whatever you want, whatever would fit the topic for the day. Number 4. So as a teacher in 5th grade, looking at standard 5-PS1-3, your job is to facilitate activities in a planned and engaging lesson to help the students identify different structures and properties of matter. So looking at different, one big thing I saw was looking at different like powdery substances like baking soda and its different properties would be a really good activity for this standard. In 4th grade, students learn that matter, like coming into it in 4th grade and grades lower, they learn that matter exists and it's a thing in the world that they have. In 5th grade, you're looking at identifying different types of like properties things have, and then in middle school, so 6th grade, middle school standard is looking at the structures deeper into those things that matter. Alright, number 5 says, what is the desired outcome for each 5 stations and activities that will help achieve those goals? So the first section of 5B lesson plan is engage, and the desired outcome of this section is to pique the students' interest and get them kind of excited and give them a little glimpse of what's about to come. So a great example of an activity for this would be reading a book that kind of relates, like when we did the circuits activity in class, we read the excerpt from the book about the student who was getting his lunch broken into, so he wanted to make like a tripwire for his lunchbox. The next one is explore. So this one, the students are really getting to dive deeper into the topic. So with the same one that we did in class, we got to work on building a circuit, but we didn't exactly know how yet to do that. So we kind of just worked with it, but weren't explicitly told yet how to do it and how it related to what we were learning. The next one is the explain. So that's kind of recapping the activity that just happened. So the desired outcome for this one is kind of having the students being able to fully understand why you're doing what you're doing, And some activities that could happen during this one is like the teacher leading a classroom discussion about kind of debriefing what happened, and then the students get to go in and maybe watch another video that kind of recaps everything, and they have a class discussion about it. The next one's the elaborate. So the desired outcome for this one is kind of doing an activity again and with the students' new knowledge, and see what outcomes come of it this time with full information. So with like the circuit one, we rebuilt the circuit having all of the materials that we would need to do it. Sorry, I'm looking at it. The next one is the evaluation, where the assessment takes place. So for the last one, for the evaluation, the desired outcome is to have students master the topic that we talked about today and be able to understand why you did what you did. So an activity would be like an exit ticket, or you could do a formal assessment, summative, formative, whatever you want, whatever would fit the topic for the day. For number 7, the last one, I think the assessment that really stuck with me the most was like our group teach and being able to collaborate with other teachers about how to build a 5E lesson plan, because it was something that, like, for me, that I didn't quite grasp right away, because it's not as linear. It is linear, but it's not beginning, middle, end, and that's it. It's more, well, you have this step and this needs to happen, you have this step, this needs to happen, but how do you connect all 5 together? So I think being able to collaborate with a group of people was really impactful for me to kind of see, and like get those opinions together, and getting to teach it as well with him was really helpful for me, just to have other people. And yeah, I think my least, I say least, but I don't think it was the worst by any means. The unit plan for me was really hard. It was really stressful, and like I said before, like there were some times that I had struggled with like how to build a lesson. So doing a whole unit plan was really hard for me, but I think in the end it helped, and I feel a lot more confident being able to do that in the future, and I think that was the whole point of it. So while it was the most stressful and like made me really anxious at times, it was like the best for me, and I get that now, but at the time it was the worst for me.